everybody, and welcome back to the Mechs podcast. We're finally back. Where have we been? Where have we been?
Yeah.
Okay, of course, the group is a little different. Well, no, it's not different. It's the same losers that I'm always talking to.
Hey!
I kid. But, of course, we have with us our very fun, honorable Rabbit Sensei Gaming.
Hi.
Namaste. And also we have our lovely noob in training, Megazord. How are you?
I'll forgive the noob with the lovely. Yes, that's fine.
Take the compliment.
No.
Take
yes,
it.
I take the compliment. I admit the newbie status, even now, even months after our last encounter, still within the newbie zone.
Encounter? What is this, Shark's counterattack? Are we encountering people?
Are we getting inappropriate here already?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Have we gotten to that level? Dear God.
Well, then I'm getting a little worried.
Dear God. It's like, wait, no, Sinanju's not here. That's the only one I'd be concerned about getting very inappropriate. He's the one who has to keep his dirty mouth shut. Hi, Sinanju. If you're watching this, hi, we miss you. Come back as soon as possible.
I'll be taking the reins for you while you're gone.
Okay. So we're back finally, and it's been a good long while. I'm not going to go into the reasons as to why we've been gone for so long.
We're lazy!
We're lazy! No. Well, partially. I've been busy. It's been a relatively busy summer, but also everyone had real life stuff to deal with first. And every single member of my podcast just slowly diminished to just me.
Hey, did me and Mega not count for anything here?
Well, you got into trouble, and that eliminated you for a while. Megazord has, a family and full-time job responsibilities he has to take care of.
I know, but we're here now.
Magnus Supreme is out due to the fact that his computer broke, and Sinanju right now is currently fixing his computer. Hopefully he will be back maybe next month or within the next 2 months, is what he told me. I'll keep in touch. Anyway, pardon me, my throat just will not stop coughing today. I think I've got a bug. Anyway.
Thought it was coming on, so
somewhat of a bug. Anyway, we're going to talk about a few things. Actually, you know what? I didn't ask you, Megazord. Did you have anything that you wanted to talk about first before anybody else gets into whatever they want to talk about?
No.
No? From here on out, I demand you to find something to talk about.
All right. So, the meaning of the word no, how did this originate?
Well, it originated by several thoughts of nerddom, and then after perusing the selection, I decided no. Perhaps it will change throughout the course of our discussion. Perhaps.
Yeah, if you come up with something that you want to talk to, or if you have a question. Of course, you always like asking questions, so we're happy to answer. If anything becomes too confusing. Anyway.
What's a ranger?
Considering the fact that you are the embodiment of a freaking Power Ranger's final weapon and the one who kills the giant monster, I am surprised at you, sir. I am shocked. I'm dismayed.
It would be shocking.
What?
They're called kaiju.
I don't care.
For
Godzilla! No, I know kaijus. Yes, kaijus. Wait, no, I thought that was only relegated for actual, kaiju monster movies.
Well, technically, the monsters in Power Rangers are kaiju once they get to that giant multiple stories tall status. So.
That's true. I guess you're not entirely wrong.
Yeah, I think anything over a 2-story building, maybe.
Probably.
Just kind of gets into that range.
Yeah, if King Kong counts, then...
I don't know.
It's true.
Some people consider him to count. I don't really... Well, if we're talking about the new one that's coming out, yes, he would count. He definitely counts. One's from, the old silver... the olden days, and when I don't know if he counts.
Well, that's the one I was talking about. Because
I know
he's the Godzilla versus King Kong movie.
That's true.
The American version sucked, but the one in Japan where Godzilla wins, spoiler alert.
Of course. He should always win.
King Kong is considered a kaiju because he's still pretty tall compared to Godzilla. So.
Good point.
Well, Godzilla's still taller, obviously, but you know what I mean.
Do we actually know why they changed it for the American version?
Because America.
Because America.
Yes, America wanted their creature to win. That's all there is to it.
Of course.
Even if it makes no sense whatsoever.
This is the segment of the podcast where we're completely derailed and don't talk about anything we actually have planned.
In other words,
filler.
Normal conversation.
Right.
Filler episode. I'm kidding. Okay, so Rabbit wanted to go and talk about YouTube heroes.
Yes.
So, please, give me your thoughts on YouTube. Wait, no, we shouldn't call them YouTube heroes because that's probably not what I'm going to put in the title. We're going to call them from here on out YouTube villains. Okay, now go.
Now, for those who may be watching that don't know exactly what YouTube Heroes is, and Mega, I know that you haven't really kept up on it so far, as we were saying, as we were talking a little bit before the podcast. But YouTube Heroes is essentially all the people at YouTube who are supposed to be moderating, content and stuff, checking on copyright claims and all that stuff to see if it's legit. The company is saying, we're not doing that. We'll leave it to you guys, and having the people watching the videos do this. However, they're not doing it in a normal way. It has multiple levels. Level 1, you can flag videos for points. Once you flag enough and get enough points, you can get to level 3 where you unlock super tools such as mass flagging videos. And then when you reach the pinnacle, level 5 or higher, you can actually directly contact YouTube, which is what we should be allowed to do anyways.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The main problem with this is because people are not going to flag videos based off of if the content's inappropriate or not. No, they're going to flag it based off of if it makes them annoyed or upset, or if they just feel like being a punk.
Yeah.
That's what people are going to do because they want to get the points. YouTube essentially turned emotional and mental abuse into a game. And this can take away someone's complete livelihood they've got going, putting them into bankruptcy and stuff because they lose their channel if that's the way they make money. And not to mention, there are a lot of unstable people out there who use YouTube as an escape. If these trolls and stuff start going and mass flagging videos, like it's going to happen, they're eventually going to get somebody who is mentally unstable, loses their livelihood based off of, all the stuff on YouTube shutting down their channel because they get flagged so much, and they will take their own life. YouTube, also known as Google now, has literally opened the floodgates to convince people to help others commit suicide.
Yeah. It can get really bad. From my perspective, I think it's the funny thing that I thought that was really funny is when the video was initially released on YouTube's actual, channel page, it said, what did it say? It's like, flag inappropriate content, or...
And the comment section is gone.
Like and dislike ratio is not disabled, thank God, because now we know how many people hate the thing. But, when they initially launched it, they were even more vague than even when they did it again.
Yeah.
But the way that I look at this, excuse me, I see it as, how do I put this? This is like, YouTube has always been kind of like the Wild West of media. Where the outlaws and the crazy people basically run the joint, and there isn't anybody to, keep tabs on them and run law. And say, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do this. Please stop that. They don't have that type of relegation because YouTube's either too lazy or they don't have the money. Well, I doubt that Google doesn't have the money, but they say they don't have the money or the manpower to handle it, so they relegate it to us to monitor ourselves.
Yep.
Basically being snitches. But the way that I see it...
what happens to snitches?
They get pwned. They get their butts handed to them. They die. Snitches get cement shoes.
I thought Harry caught him.
What?
I thought Harry caught him.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But another thing that I like to look, I think that there may have been a better way to handle this. I don't know if my analogy here is going to be good enough or well enough explained. What is it? Wyatt Earp and his brothers, the way that they, considering the time that they were in, most towns do not have very strong law enforcement. But the way that they handled law enforcement was to the only people that were allowed to have the guns were the law enforcement officers, which in this case would probably be like YouTube themselves, or to some extent hiring certain people who have at least that, you know, won't just flag everybody, or people that they don't like, someone who's actually reputable enough so that you can trust them to make the right calls.
Yeah, and I see exactly what you're going with here. This is essentially YouTube just giving everybody a gun.
Pretty much. And the worst part is that the gun isn't relegated to content creators. There are people out there, like I think I watched a video of Angry Joe's where he talked about it, and he actually has a moderator. Someone to, you know, control his content and whatnot, and keep an eye if anybody's being too far or taking things too far and whatnot. He has a moderator to handle that. Some bigger channels probably have moderators to handle that situation. Here's the thing, though. They're not giving those tools to those moderators.
Yeah.
They're giving it to the unwashed masses of psychos and trolls.
And the people, the internet.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like,
yeah.
Google, you've been around how long? YouTube, you've been around for almost 10 years? You know how the internet works by now.
Oh, God. YouTube's been around for almost 10 years. I feel old now.
Well, I know. I've watched videos from some of the older people. There's, like Boogie2988, Proto Mario, a lot of those other guys. They've been around for almost 10 years on this website. Some of them. I don't know the exact year, but that's getting close to well over a decade for some of them. We're very new.
yeah, we are.
We're only a few years old. My channel is only probably about a year old. Anyway, yeah, this is a really terrible idea. Yeah. That's the reason why I called it YouTube villains when I was on Twitter. It's like, this isn't a wise idea.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much YouTube villains so much as it is turning YouTube into the world of Mad Max.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, you look at the comment sections and they're bad enough.
Yeah.
People like get so offended so easily at just like simple things.
Yep.
To an extent where like, if they're given this now incentive to flag things, if they're offended enough, they'll go ahead and flag it.
And by offended enough, it'll just be 1% offended, and that just is enough to set them off.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, what was it? It's kind of funny. I talked to people. I'm segueing a bit, but I was talking to some people on a video about, I think it was Civil War II, the comic book, and I got the most generic insult that everybody always uses. Can anybody guess what it is?
Yes, I can, because I saw what it was.
Yeah?
Oh, let me guess then, because I didn't see what it was.
Yeah, go for it.
They just they said you're dumb.
Close.
Close.
I give you an A for effort and an F for no frickin' way.
Pretty much. Wolf, do you want to let them know what they called you?
Hold on a second.
Okay, I held on for a second. What was I holding on for?
Interruption. Please ignore.
We're finding the comment, I suppose.
No.
Are you in a UFO? I swear I heard the
Oh no! The aliens have found me! They know my secrets. No, we're fine. No, someone just walked in the door. It's no big deal.
Did they walk in the door, or did they open the door and walk through? Because that's two very different things.
let's not get into semantics, okay?
One's great. One's better than the others.
I'll agree with you, but that's not the point. Anyway, I think the comment was, kill yourself, moron.
Whoa.
And that's just for me having a differing opinion on the comic book itself. Yeah. The book that I refuse to read, and that even from reviews and from what I've heard, I'm like, I wouldn't buy this book even if someone paid me to read it. I wouldn't do it. If I want to read it, I'd probably read it here on YouTube. And not pay a dime to Marvel, because it's just not worth the money. And we'll get into that maybe another time, maybe today, I don't know. Yeah. But
sorry. Yeah, if you don't mind me cutting in for half a second, one thing I thought you were going to talk about what happened on Twitter where the guy called you autistic.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's not a very generic insult.
True. So that really cheesed me off because I have Asperger's, which is part of autism spectrum.
Yeah.
So it was a thing of that dude both those people need to back off from it because you're allowed to have your own opinion.
I know. And it's the funny thing, it's where an opinion can be attacked. I mean, I don't mind debating with people. I actually enjoy it. Which is the reason why I do that. And you know what? To that particular Twitter troll and to the other people on YouTube who tend to call me things or think that I'm an idiot, well, that's your opinion. I have a bunch of people who would say otherwise. I'm not a genius. I'll admit that right now. But unlike some people, I'm not willing to kiss the ass of every single goddamn company that walks my way.
Hear, hear.
You see, because I'm going to get into this about fans and whatnot just for a brief moment, and then we'll move on to something else. But to me, a fan base, you can have the extreme guys who love no matter what. I don't give a crap about you. Get over it to an extent. I mean, if you're here on the channel and you enjoy me, that's fine. But I don't like it when someone is to the extreme level where no one else's opinion matters. Where no matter what you say, they're going to go right back and either deflect what you have to say and just like, oh no, you're like misreading it. You don't know anything. Or it's like, oh, I'm working on being a film major. I'm smart because I'm only 20 years old. And I'm better, and I know more about this stuff than you. It's like, anybody can write a story. Anybody can write a story when it comes to pretty much any form of novelization.
It's called fanfiction.net.
Exactly. Not only that, well, I mean, if you think about it, the 50 Shades of Grey is pretty much fan fiction. It's literally fan fiction. It's just been changed enough so that it's not a straight rip-off of Twilight.
I never read either of them. I'm proud of that statement.
Neither have I. Trust me.
Likewise.
You're fine. You're within good company. You're in a company of people who actually have a little bit of decency and taste.
Yes, dignity retained.
Although, while I have not read those, I will more than happily make fun of it.
Exactly. And here's the thing that's funny, is that when you have... I think that was a video I found on Marvel's website several months ago where the pro wrestler CM Punk, who is currently writing a book called Drax for Marvel, people asked him, how do you get into comic books? He's like, anybody can get into comic books. They let me in. It's like, it can't be that hard if they let an idiot like me in. What the freaking hell?
So...
This is the reason why I've always been...
I told him not to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, who later on after this, I'm going to hit with a 10-foot pole!
No, don't use a 10-foot pole. Use a baseball bat. For kneecaps, it works a lot better. That's
a good idea, considering my mom has one not less than probably 10 feet away. Although it's made of aluminum.
No, just if you do that, I want to say it now. That was a joke. I was not encouraging him. I cannot be held responsible for his actions after this podcast.
This channel does not endorse the beating of your own brother.
See, I don't know. I feel like I need to flag this video now. I need to flag this podcast. because of the threat of violence. I was a victim of violence, and that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, violence to your eardrums and nothing more.
I want to be a hero and flag it.
Warning! Warning! He needs a safe space. Everybody give him room.
Ew.
We need to make sure that he has plenty of coloring books, too. I'm not kidding. That's actually part of a college. I can't believe that that's a thing.
It is.
Oh, my God. Oh, my head hurts from that. Okay, are we done with talking about YouTube heroes and me getting startled half-ass out of my mind?
Well, first I want to know, what did he do?
He took an inflated bag and slapped right in my ear. Or tried to. I didn't even see him. I didn't see him.
That's a classic.
I did not see him in my peripheral vision. I was like, what the? You son of a... Okay.
Okay, I retract my statement. Because that is a classic gag, you now have to give him a high five for it.
Okay, I'll give him a high five for it. But only for his comedic timing.
Yes, yes.
Well, he is somewhat of the comedian. I'll let it slide. Okay, so... There's that inappropriateness again.
No.
Do you want this video to get flagged?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've been a good boy over here.
Do you want us to get flagged?
What is this flag? I don't see anything. All I see is this piece of cloth on a little wooden stick. I believe it says "Made in China."
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so do we still have anything else to talk about with YouTube heroes? Megazord, did you even have anything else to add? Actually, I don't even think we let you add anything.
I don't know. I like, in a way, I'm just not surprised to hear about it at all, in that just because of all the social justice warriors going on.
Yeah.
You know, this is just an inevitable sort of result of that whole thing.
Yeah.
And man, I just don't, like you guys were saying, I mean, like, it makes sense. Just like any decent forum, you have good moderators that know what they're doing, they know their topics, they're relatively stable, I would assume.
You would hope.
You would hope.
Surprisingly, actually, though, the truth of the matter is...
everyone be a moderator just seems like a
really bad idea.
Terrible idea. Like you said, it's like giving everybody a gun.
Yeah. Not to say that there's anything wrong with your First Amendment right to bear arms, but that aside, but we're talking about like Wild West style. Let's give everybody a weapon and let them all have a shootout in the middle of town.
Yeah.
This isn't even just that. This is pretty much giving Dick Cheney a gun and putting your face next to it.
Okay, let's not get too political now.
Yeah, that's the only political thing I know, so I'm done.
Okay.
I'll see myself out. Thanks. See ya.
Peace. We're out. It's been a lovely day. We're moving on.
Before we do move on, though, I just want to say one last thing, which is I hope this feature gets taken out of YouTube sooner than later, because, as I said, eventually someone who's either going to lose their livelihood or just not be able to take the pressure of people mass flagging their videos just because someone feels like being a troll to them, it's going to push them over the edge and they're going to kill themselves or something.
Or they'll just quit.
I don't want to see that happen.
Or they'll just quit YouTube in general.
Well, if they just quit YouTube, that's fine. It's just, I don't want to see someone's life taken from this.
Yeah.
Well, I think that...
because people invest their life in YouTube.
Yeah.
So, you know...
Yeah, I mean...
you take away that much of their life, it can be pretty bad.
A few YouTubers nowadays have actually been talking about having serious anxiety issues and whatnot. Like Boogie's talked about having anxiety problems. I mean, he was freaked out and lost sleep just over the fact of the demonetization crap that happened weeks before the YouTube hero thing happened.
That's right.
And then you have Great and Andre saying the same thing, like him and I hate everything. All of them are saying it's like anxiety. We're not having fun making videos anymore. Probably because the website is shit.
Well, I wouldn't say the website's garbage. I'd say the community is garbage.
There's that. And also the fact that YouTube isn't supporting the people who make the communities in the first place.
Yep.
Happy content creators means no one's going to keep calling you a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's just
except for the trolls on the internet.
Aside from them,
do that.
Aside from the trolls, which you can never really please them. They're there to cause trouble anyway. But yeah, okay.
Speaking of trolls, I want a Yu Yu Hakusho HD remaster.
Oh yeah, that would I would welcome that. Yes.
I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna oppose it. I was never the biggest fan of it, but hey, to those of you who like it, I'm not gonna argue it.
Trust me, it's aged really well.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I remembered watching it back in the day during Toonami and whatnot. It was pretty good. It wasn't my favorite thing to watch, but I watched it when I was bored.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. Anyway,
one more thing. Do you think another reason for having this kind of moderation is to somehow, and with the monetization too, with the restrictions they've put on that?
Yeah.
Because the whole YouTube Red thing.
Right.
I actually have YouTube Red just because I hate watching commercials.
Wow, you're one of the 200 that have it.
I know.
Traitor! No, I'm kidding.
Round of applause.
Thank you. But like the YouTube Red content is really crappy.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty bad, and I don't know if like that's a part of the reason.
It could be.
In this, and then the monetization thing, I don't know.
I think more or less, actually, it's a way of silencing certain individuals because YouTube has gotten so much flack for not controlling the actual bad content creators. They don't deal with the reaction channels. They don't contend with the channels that, the drama-related channels. They're not contending with... Okay, who else was I thinking? Bully channels or commentator channels that can border on being bullying.
Yeah. Which,
and I think it's their attempt to try and phase those people out because they don't want them there. And even though I don't like those types of people, I think they still serve some format of a purpose to some extent. Yeah. I may not like them, but there's an easy solution. You just don't watch them. Make them become irrelevant on their own. Yeah.
I agree, because if someone wants to watch that, they'll go watch that. If someone doesn't like their content, they won't watch it.
Exactly.
That's all it comes down to. You don't need to flag anything.
Yeah, it's the whole vote for your wallet, and in this case, vote for your clicks. If you want it, you'll watch it. If you don't want it, you don't have to watch it. You can move on to something else. There's plenty of channels on YouTube. You're bound to find somebody that you like. I think that, what was it? It was a few months ago when I was I've been recording Tales of Zillia. I actually managed to get someone on my channel. He's like, finally, someone who's playing Tales of Zillia that doesn't annoy the crap out of me. I was like, well, bravo to me, I guess. That was new. But it's like, that's the type of thing. Sometimes you don't like a certain person, the way they talk, the way they act. It's all up to personal preference. Anyway, what to talk about next? Oh, boy. Well, considering this is a mech thing, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about some mech-related stuff that's happened over the last few months, huh?
You mean the announcement about how there's another Zoids project going on?
Okay, that's something I did not know. You'll have to fill me in later, because that's not part of the topic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still mech.
I don't care.
Actually, you said mech. That's all I heard.
I know. Actually, I like Zoids. I watched the old Zoid shows like years ago when they were on Toonami and stuff. Yeah. I at least got to watch two of them. They were really good. They were really fun. No, I was thinking more along the lines of Iron-Blooded Orphan Season 2, Mobile Suit Gundam. Gundams! Again. We talk a lot about Gundam.
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 Senshi Gundam. Gundam.
I'll stick with Raise Your Flag.
I'm not going to argue with that because that's actually become part of my tagline for my channel. So I have to thank Iron-Blooded Orphans for that one.
Yeah. Raise Your Flag is definitely one of the best openers.
I do like it. I really do. I don't know what the new opening will be. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, Iron-Blooded Orphans number 2 has been announced. I did not watch the trailer before I got in here. I'm going to have to go off of sheer memory.
Well, actually, that might be a good thing. That means that you won't have anything spoiled for you when the season finally gets here.
I'll probably watch the trailer again anyway. All I remember is...
Again? I thought you said you didn't watch it.
No, I've watched it before. I just can't remember.
Flag.
Flag.
What?
Liar.
We've been lied to.
Lies, treachery, the intrigue. That's what you come to this podcast for. The lies, the treachery, and the intrigue, and the backstabbing. Kidding.
No, they come to my channel for the backstabbing. I'm the one that fucks souls.
True. That's very true. Go. Here's a link to Rabbit's channel right there. Enjoy.
Yeah, just go ahead and make it a picture of my face when I was cosplaying a Shiro Amada here a few weeks ago.
I might do that. I might do that.
Force of angels behind it.
I'll do something. I don't know what.
Followed shortly by a bullet hole being put in my head. All right.
Moving on. Segue.
Ride off a cliff.
I don't really know if they really discussed what's going to happen in season 2 exactly. I remembered seeing the new Barbatos, along with a few of the other new Gundams that are going to be in the show as well. I cannot remember their names, although they look really nice. But the Lupus Barbatos, I like it. It looks pretty cool, I have to say.
Yeah, I have not seen what that one looks like yet.
Yeah.
But from how its upgrades have been so far, I've liked every single one. So
yeah,
I'm thinking this one's probably going to be pretty nice too, because after watching a bit more of Iron Blood Orphans, I realized that it's not based off the pirate, it's based off the demon.
Yeah.
Which, the only reason I know that is because I watched a little bit more, and
right.
Someone who posted on my video from months ago, and by months ago I mean almost half a year now.
Oh my good
told
gosh.
me that it was based off the demon. I went, oh yeah, light bulb, click. Okay, that makes more sense.
Right. Well, I thought that we had already discussed that before, but the mobile suits in the show, especially the Gundams, are based off the names of demons.
That might have been one that I wasn't here for.
That could have been. That was probably one of the earliest podcast episodes. Anyway, the Lupus it has a lot more red and more armor on it now, which I think is pretty cool. The Barbatos was always kind of scarce in armor and whatnot. I like the more mechanical theme that the show has to begin with when it comes to mech design and whatnot. It's more
industrialized.
Yeah, more industrial. I like the more industrial look and whatnot. It makes it look like, hey, this could actually be a thing in real life, potentially.
And I also have to agree with you that the lack of armor on the first few forms of Barbatos made it look like it was on Jenny Craig.
Yeah, it made it looking very flimsy, especially in the chest region. Or no, waist region. Because all of that was propping it up is just like a bar and some pistons, and it's like... Yeah. You're not really protecting anything. I think it still technically holds part of that design where it's still relatively bare, but considering that everything's industrial and most of the suits are incomplete to begin with, it doesn't really bug me that much. It gives it its own uniqueness that I think is very refreshing.
Plus, the skinny waist of the mobile suit shows off the dome.
What?
What did I just say? Oh my god.
Mobile suits do not have genders.
Tell that to Noble Gundam.
Aside from that one, and even still, it technically doesn't. It's just designed to look like a girl, not that it actually is one. It's a machine.
Tell that to all the fan art out there. Never search it up with safe search off. Always keep it on moderate to strict. My God.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. I'm pretty positive that it can get probably very, very naughty. Anyway, I think that there was something about Kudelia and whatnot in the trailer, but I'm just throwing out whatever random stuff I remember. It seems as though she's in an office of power, which is what I anticipated would happen after the end of Iron Blood Orphans. I don't know if I
still have yet to see the last episode, so don't spoil that for me.
I'm gonna spoil everything. No, I'm not going to, because I'm not even sure if Megazord's even seen the end.
I have not.
I don't even remember where you left off last.
I do not remember either.
Not to mention that you still have my entire Gundam collection at your house.
Yes, this is true.
Wait, what? What is this? What's going on here?
He has my entire DVD Gundam collection. I was trying to help him bone up on his.
Bone up on? Whoa! Whoa!
Shut up! Just shut up, Robert.
This is it.
I am Noble Gundam. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll be sure to change your avatar halfway through. From here on out, he will now be known as Noble Gundam.
I would be a fan service Noble Gundam.
Since you're now Noble Gundam, can you do your best Sailor Moon impression for us?
I can't, not with a straight face. I can't do it. I don't have the power. I don't have the willpower to do that.
That's what she said. It was a sad day.
I didn't bring my Green Lantern ring with me today.
Yes, all I have finished still is Unicorn.
Yeah.
And then that's not complete.
Yes.
But I finished what I was given for that. Yes.
I told you to watch F91, you jackass.
I know. It's right on the DVD player. It's there. I see it.
I mean, it's only like an hour and a half long movie. I think you can sit through that.
Yes. I could actually do that tonight.
Good job. Go for that.
I will do that tonight. Yes.
Go for it.
All right.
And then, as I told you, I think like about a month or so ago, just go with the things that are the shortest on the list, get them out of the way, and then you can go and watch the longer stuff later.
Yeah, in that case, it'd be F91 for the shortest thing on the list. Then afterwards, probably 0080 War in the Pocket.
Yep, 6 episodes.
And then after that, Gundam the Eighth Esteem, the best saga.
Yes.
I will never back down on that.
Don't. I actually agree that it's probably the best Gundam show I've ever watched. It's still my favorite, with War in the Pocket being like number 2.
And then after that, the shortest series is probably Unicorn, since it's an OVA.
Yeah,
now
but he's
a TV series, but
don't watch it.
well, the TV series might be able to go into more detail on some things that were skimmed over in the OVA. So
I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I felt like it was a shameless cash grab on Bandai's part in an attempt to sell more model kits and more product.
Well, honestly, if it's supporting Bamco, I'm all for it, because Bamco has never steered us wrong. Look at their track record. They've done nothing but listen to their fans.
G-Rico.
Strangely enough, that was something that, originally was recommended by fans. They wanted something that was very similar to Victory Gundam, and that's what they got.
Only shittier version.
Yeah.
I could trash G-Rico here, but I haven't. I don't want to spend money on Hulu to go and watch it.
Go to YouTube. I'm pretty sure Bandai probably has it up on their channel for free if you search hard enough.
On Bandai's channel?
I'm just guessing. Don't quote me on that.
Because I wasn't sure. I mean, there is Gundam info, but that's highly unreliable nowadays. But anyway.
Yes, after you finish the Unicorn, after you finish all the OVAs like that, instead of going into the hardcore stuff, which is, Gundam, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta, go for something that's a little bit more relaxing and will make you laugh while you still enjoy the great story. G Gundam.
Yeah!
I did see G Gundam. I've seen all of it, yeah.
Good. Then you know exactly what I talk about whenever I say it's Dragon Ball Z meets Gundam.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Yep. It's a shonen with giant robots. With overpowered abilities.
Did you know this getting an HD re-release on Blu-ray?
Ooh. Might be worth getting.
Right!
I've never been the biggest fan of G Gundam. I like it, but I'm not. If I were to get it, it'd probably be one of the last things I would get, because I don't have any of the shows on Blu-ray right now. And I still want to get like the original Gundam, probably maybe Zeta, and whatever else comes out, like Double Zeta, because I've never even seen Double Zeta at all. So
have you ever seen Stardust Memory?
Yes.
Okay.
Years ago, when it was on Toonami and whatnot, yes, in Adult Swim. I did see that. I want to get that one, too. That one's pretty good. This was supposed to be about Iron-Blooded Orphans, But then I realized I have absolutely nothing to talk about, really, except for the lupus.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What?
I thought I heard Mega saying something.
Oh, no. That was a chortle of approval.
Oh. Well, I was
just actually thinking.
Yeah.
Because so we talk about Gundam, and then we talk about other things.
Yeah.
And it's varied.
Right.
So we could name the show 50 Shades of Gundanium.
I might put that actually as the title.
Please do.
I actually kind of like it. 50 Shades of Gundanium. Okay.
Well, so allow me to do something for the ladies listening. Hello, ladies. My name is Rabbit Sensei. I'm at the library. That's right. I am the sexy librarian. If you enjoy my voice, come see my channel at Rabbit Sensei Gaming on YouTube. That is all.
You do realize that the main percentage of my audience is probably male, right?
Hey, that small percentage that isn't male, I'm going to try to steal your audience, man.
Well, you can have. I mean, well, I don't like getting into the numbers. What, 40 subscribers? I have 91 at this point. You can take some of them if they like you enough. They can have you. Please don't leave me, though. I'd be very lonely.
You might also need to rephrase how you said that.
Probably. Be advised that I don't put too much stock in the numbers until I reach a milestone, and then I get happy. And to see the fact that I've grown a fair bit over the last few months, I'm actually very grateful for you guys. Thank you very much. I'm being sincere at that. And also, yes, go to Rabbit's channel. He's a good guy.
I have 151 videos currently uploaded for you to watch as of the time of this recording, so...
Talk about plugging!
Yes, I'm going to plug my channel because I want viewers, dagnabbit. And strangely, on my channel, everything is family-friendly.
Hey!
Well, except for maybe the games. I did play Catherine for a while, which I need to go back to. I'm playing Dark Souls. Playing Genebu Naroku Sharpifi, which is debatable. It's in that YA to, it's in the T to M rating. That's somewhere in between.
I'm not a wholly kid-friendly channel. I'll admit that. I do cuss on occasion. I try to avoid it unless I get really annoyed. Anyway.
But sometimes you just gotta let it out.
I do that. Fair bit. If anybody wants to see me actually go full-blown rage mode and actually be incredibly pissed off, here, I'll leave a link to my Dragon Ball Xenoverse Let's Play. Enjoy.
And now, Mega, do you have a channel?
I do not.
Sort of.
Yes. Sort of. No. I'm going to stick with no. I do not.
It's not an official channel, and it's definitely not under his name.
I see, said the blind man to his deaf daughter, whose story was then repeated by their mute son.
Precisely.
Exactly. We try and keep it as quiet as possible. He doesn't have a channel, but he's a good friend, so he's here. And anybody who has a problem with it has to fight me! To the death!
Goodness.
In bed.
No, not in bed. God, no. That ain't happening. No.
Dude, did you just sick burn yourself right there?
Probably. I wouldn't know. Let me know in the comment section if I sick burned myself.
I mean, because we're saying, you start going, God, no, that ain't happening. Think about it for a moment. You just label yourself as forever alone.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I am Batman, damn it. I don't need a love life.
Well, that's Batgirl.
Hey. Don't. It
happened in the comics, too.
Don't mention that.
Comics too.
La 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 la. I'm not listening. La 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 la. I will talk over you for the rest of the podcast. I swear I will. I'm kidding. I'm not going to.
On a technicality, though, did it happen in The Killing Joke?
No, it happened something completely different. And honestly, where it happened in the Killing Joke animation, it wasn't even into the Killing Joke part of the movie yet. No joke. That was just something completely different. Could have been.
That was Bruce Timm showing his unhealthy obsession with Batgirl.
Is it really unhealthy?
I was about to say that. Yes.
It's him.
There, buddy.
Come on, he's just surrounded by guys all the time.
It's Bruce Timm with his unhealthy obsession for Batgirl and the fact that Paul Dini wasn't there to rope him in and say, no, you don't get to do that. Go back in the corner and sit. Because Paul Dini was the guy who kept him under control for several years.
So are you saying he went mad?
He's been mad for years. What are you talking about?
This is very true. I don't know what voice I'm doing here. This is just a random psychopath voice. Hello, how are you? I'm doing fine. Oh, good to hear you're doing fine. How are you? I'm doing well. Glad to hear you're doing well.
Attention, we need the people in the white jackets to go and take Rabbit.
Too late, they've already got me.
Be sure to send him to the very, very extreme levels of the Arkham Asylum.
And I can't put up new videos.
Don't care. You're relegated to the far ass end of Arkham where they keep the Joker.
Well, you're the one who's able to put up with me, so that means that you have to be put in there too.
No, I would be put in the less psychopathic ward. I'd be one of the people who like rock in the corner and cry and weep bitter tears and say random stuff for no reason. That's where I would be.
Okay, so you'd be Penguin. Got it.
Penguin's not a psycho. Actually, it's been proven. He goes to Blackgate.
Oh wait, I was thinking about the version of the Penguin from Gotham. He's a bit of a psycho.
Somewhat, but he's not. But he doesn't have a clinical psychotic mental issue.
True.
Guys like him and Bane do not belong in the asylum because they're not crazy.
Though it won't stop them from being put in there for the games anyhow.
Of course, that's because they want them in the games. But in reality, they don't belong there. Heck, to some extent, even the Joker doesn't belong in the asylum. Because you can't reform him anyway. So why'd he keep trying?
Yeah, he just needs to be... The Joker just needs to go down already. I mean, I'm sorry, but he's just... Why don't they just shoot him? The police have all the power in the world to do that. It's not just Batman.
I know. Why doesn't someone else take... I know that at least one other person got incredibly close, and that was Jason Todd. That was the Red Hood. He was going to until Batman stopped him. Dumb Batman. Actually, you know what? We'll just segue into that. Batman's no-killing rule. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends on which version of the Batman you're looking at.
Doesn't matter which version.
Yeah.
Comic book version or the the Nolan version where he holds that rule above all else.
Well, no, I was meaning it depends on which version, because there was also the Dark Knight's comics that were,
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yes, there's several variations, but I'm talking about not Batman in what version, I'm talking about the rule as a whole. Would you agree that it's a good rule, or would you agree that it's a stupid rule, considering who he has to deal with?
Mega, I'll let you have your thoughts on this first.
Well, I watched a video several months ago from another YouTuber that actually had an editorial discussing the no-killing rule and how he felt that it was a dumb idea, particularly for Batman to have. And to an extent, I actually agree with him. Because if you think about it, how many times has the Joker escaped from the asylum?
Too many.
How many times has he killed hundreds of thousands of people?
Same amount.
Exactly. Why doesn't Batman end him? Because he's trying to hold a higher moral code. He's already breaking pretty much a multitude of rules as it is already. He's already at the level where everybody says he's walking a very fine line. And he believes that so long as he doesn't, go slant any more further down the darker path, he still can, hold a higher ground when it comes to his morality. And it's stupid. Because, as Rabbit just pointed out, why don't the cops just put it into the Joker and put a bullet in him? Aside from the fact that he's clever and tends to avoid cops most of the time. But why doesn't somebody off him? Aside from the fact that Jason Todd tried to, and a few other people have probably tried to off him too.
That's a very good question, Mega. Wolf, what do you think?
What question? Did he even have? He didn't even have a question. He just said,
I was speaking via osmosis.
This is.
Yes, it was telepathically.
Okay.
Now, yeah, I mean, I get it. I think we're still, though, in that comic book kind of age. At least, I think for general audience, I mean, we still have Batman as a Lego character. We still have Batman as a kid's comic, and I think holding to the ideal of never being in a position to take someone else's life because, you know, good guy reasons.
Yeah.
It's somewhat, at least for now, important to hold on to that, I guess, because of the idealism associated with Batman and his mission and his origin and all that stuff. I mean, from a completely adult point of view, yes, it does make sense. Like the Joker should die.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
this is probably us just talking more in an adult form.
He's killed a lot of people. I mean, the dude is psycho. He's not mentally stable. He's just gonna keep, you know, causing problems and killing people. So
it's dumb. Oh, I was thinking of something before we let Megazord talk, and now I've completely lost the thought. Damn.
Welcome to getting older, buddy.
Yes, I am so old. You see, Batman to me is a character that you can't really hold to a higher level than certain other characters. I mean, when you look at a character like Superman, he has to be held to that higher standard of not killing people because of not just the ideal of who he is, but of the morality of the character itself. It makes sense, but in not only in alternate universes, but in filmmaking particularly, especially in at least more recent adaptations of Batman, even the Chris Nolan version, Batman has killed. And this was in our discussion I actually had with my brother, who I'm going to take out to the woodshed later, about this, that Batman has killed before. This isn't anything new. He either kills somebody or he inadvertently kills somebody.
By gravity.
Huh?
By gravity.
Gravity normally.
Or inevitable conclusion.
Yeah. Because that was actually one of his biggest problems with Batman v Superman, was the fact that Batman was killing guys with little to no remorse or care. It's like, well, for one, they're going off the Dark Knight version of Batman, who's been taken to that potential precipice, and he got pushed over the damn edge to the point where he doesn't care anymore, and he follows his own, you know, his new code, where it is shoot first, ask questions later. There's that, and also the Chris Nolan Batman has killed before, inadvertently, but he still killed. He killed Raish, and in a sense he killed Harvey Dent. It was not, and it's because of his own, you know, and he's like, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. No, you're still technically killing them because you have the ability to save him, even though you know that they're evil. He's still killing people. The Michael Keaton Batman, he killed people. Batman, way back in the Golden Age when he was first conceived, killed people. I hate the fact that people say Batman should never kill anybody or that he's never killed anybody, because that is factually inaccurate and really, really stupid. It's the same as the argument Batman can always beat Superman, which I also think is stupid.
Yep, I completely agree. I think Batman shouldn't be harped upon for if he kills a character or not. Because while yes, it does make sense to try to keep him, more humanized to where he hasn't gone fully off the rails yet.
Yeah, true.
There's still fact that, as you said, there's Superman to do that, though frankly that happened shortly after the Golden Age, where Superman tossed an entire bus of incarcerated criminals off of a cliff.
Oh boy.
And then the next issue, I have a vow against killing.
I didn't even know that actually happened, but
it did.
That's
it actually happened.
Wow.
That's impressive. I mean, with like the more modern age Superman and whatnot, aside from the new 52 version, which I'm not going to discuss because the guy's a loser and a mopey jerk. It's like trying to make Batman Superman. No thanks. I like his more upbeat, more like, I am a Boy Scout. I'm willing to take that, I'm willing to fight for what I believe is right. And I think that with the current run in Superman and whatnot, it really does have that more motif of, I am a hero. I'm heroic. I am upright. I am a symbol of light and hope, which is what he should always be. He should never be dark and brooding and disappointing and sad, which is the reason why I think I dislike Henry Cavill just a little bit more each time I see him as Superman. It's like, you're really bumming me out, man. You say your S stands for hope, and I'm not seeing very much hope in your movies. Come on, man. Show a little bit more enthusiasm. Brighten the goddamn costume for starts. And then after that, I don't know, make the character a little bit more lighthearted and less mopey.
Yeah.
He's not Batman.
Yeah. Though I will say this. Man of Steel was probably the second ever Superman movie that I actually enjoyed. Not because of the destruction, all stuff. Not because of the story. Not because of the story being all dark and brooding. No, that was okay. Besides, the beginning was just Star Wars. Let's face it.
Yeah.
I actually liked it the most because it gave Superman his reason for not wanting to kill anymore. Whenever he killed Zod, essentially genociding his own race.
Yeah.
Yes.
It finally gave him a reason as to why he doesn't want to kill anymore.
Right. I'm not saying that Henry Cavill's in my opinion, he's probably the worst Superman that I know of. Because I don't
Superman, the one from Superman Returns, so it's that title.
No. I actually like Brandon Routh, actually.
But he's a good actor, but I did not like the film. That film was written god-awful.
Actually, I might send you guys a video or a link to Professor Geek's channel, who I've worked with before. He actually had an overview of the film and actually showing how this Superman story was actually really good, which made me go, oh, I never really thought of it, because I always used to think that the film was utterly boring. And to some extent, I still think it's obviously not the most action-packed Superman movie of all time, but when have they ever been? We'll have to...
I understand that. But my main comment against that, though, is the fact that while it may have been smart in some of its writing, there's two things that always bothered me about it.
Okay.
One, the child of Lois Lane being Superman's whenever they had made it clear that Superman had just up and left, had not been around for years. In other words, he essentially, Mr. I'm right, I stand for justice and everything that's right, had a one-night stand with Lois Lane, then left, leaving her with a bastard child and never paying child support.
Yep.
That's true. That's
Two.
Kind of low for him.
Yeah. Number two, I fell asleep in the movie every single time I tried to watch it.
I won't argue with you there. At least
I've tried 3 times, same thing.
Yeah, that was my problem too. I actually fell asleep during it. At least the second time I watched it. When I saw it in the theaters, I think I was teetering on falling asleep. But when I saw it, when I watched it again, at home and when I was just sitting and relaxing and watching it, yeah, I dozed off. Of course, I will also say that I also dozed off during The Dark Knight as well, after watching it at least once or twice. It's like, after a while, it's like, I already know how this movie goes.
Yeah, it's you already know.
It's like...
Right.
And the only time I woke up was that one scene where that one person got hung off of the mayor's roof. And the guy dresses in the Batman costume and it hits and makes that really loud bam sound. It started woke me up like, what the? Holy freaking crap. No, it wasn't just the thud. It was the sound effect. Did you hurt yourself? It was that sound effect that they added to it. I think it was more like a creepy, I don't know, synthesized musical tone of some sort.
Oh, you mean the
something like that. But it was at I can't remember, but I think it was a higher pitched version of that.
By the way, are you sick of that sound yet, though?
The Nolan horn.
Yes.
Are you sick of that? Are you?
Every trailer is so hilarious.
Audience, are you also tired of the goddamn lens flare? Never. J.J. Abrams knows all and says all. Which I might get into that another time about how I actually hate him working on Star Wars and in general how I hate Episode 7. Moving on. Another time.
And moving on, you say, Well, Wolf, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Yes.
You said you're in on a little post that I posted online where I'm asking where I'm trying to do a fan dub of Fire Emblem Rekka no Ken, also known as Fire Emblem 7.
Yes.
You never said what voice you want to do or sent in a sound clip on you trying to do their voice.
I haven't gotten around to that. I just got home, man. Back off. I've only been home like 2 damn days. I've only been able to upload 2 videos since then.
Well, I was just curious because, you said you're in, so clearly you were online, so I thought maybe you had a way.
Well, I think I may have not been home at that time when I initially said it. I don't know, because I remember we talked about it before in private when you said you were thinking of doing it, but you already had considered having a character for me to do, and I was just assuming that you remembered who that was.
Yes, I did. And afterwards I thought, you know what? That's unfair of me to force you into position. I should just ask. Speaking of which, when I want a position too, I'll have Wolf show you, where the list is on what characters are available.
You want me to share the Tumblr thing?
Is this a dub project?
Sort of.
Yes, it's a free fan dub project combined with a Let's Play.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Any of you guys out there that are interested, maybe I will try to leave a link to Rabbit Sensei's Tumblr in the description somewhere.
Speaking of which, just because I have a Tumblr doesn't mean I'm dark and brooding or a social justice warrior. Me, I think people just need to learn to deal with it. And
Cursing Tumblrites.
And frankly, I post there because it gets my reach out further.
That's true.
That's all there is to it. Plus, I like to write.
For me, I prefer just either using Facebook. I mainly just use Twitter. That's just where I do most of my social media now.
Yes, Wolf is short and sweet. I am long and drawn out. And Mega, what do you like to do?
I like to just read what other people post.
That actually seems relatively
I rarely
fair.
make comments or anything. Rarely. Yeah.
He just likes reading the comment section.
I just like observing.
He likes to read the cancerous YouTube comment section.
No, I usually skip over those.
I mean, there are some communities that I've been a part of or that I've looked into that aren't terrible. But that's not to say that some of the creators aren't total dickbags. I don't know if I want to get into that.
Well, you and Mega can get into it for a little bit because I actually have to step away for half a moment because I'm getting a call, and whenever you get this call, you don't ignore it. Okay. I'll be right back.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Do I want to talk about it? I guess I could rant.
About what? Exactly?
Well, I don't know. I think that there's been... I watched... It was, I think, a few months ago. I know that there are some people who really just don't like their own community, or they like to call shit on other people's on their own community. I think there was at least one comic book community guy who he called anybody who disagreed with him. From what it sounded like, he insulted them and said that they're a bunch of virgins and they need to get a life. And it's like, well, you don't know if any of them actually are virgins, or if they don't have lives. You can't say that assumption on all of them who disagree with you.
Right.
And this was in response to one of his videos where he was actually applauding comic books, and he's done a couple where he's like, oh, this is a problem, and then did one where this is not a problem, and things of that nature. And to me, it was like, you actually said that. You actually said, oh boy. It's like, you can't do that. You should never generalize your audience in that regard. At least try your best not to, and if you do, you should apologize.
Yeah. But I think like you mentioned, just for the purpose of getting comments or getting views, or just to be controversial for controversial sake,
Right.
you know, for the conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to some extent I bug people, I guess. I disrupt the flow. I'm apparently somewhat of either troll or I'm an anarchist, I don't know what. But I like to shake the hornet's nest, I guess, to an extent. I like giving people a little bit of flack. I'm not trying to be overly mean or anything, I just have a differing opinion, and when I see them posting and saying, "Oh, I can't wait for the next Marvel comic book event," I just sigh, groan, and say, "Really? We're doing this again? Do you really want me to go into my list?" I have a list of all the stupid crap that Marvel has done, and every time when I bring it up to certain people, they either derail my conversation or they just outwardly ignore me.
Right.
Marvel will not ignore me, but they just vehemently disagree. And I don't mind if they disagree with me, so long as they can back it up and say, like, no, here, and give me a valid comeback. And most of the time, at least 90% of it is not valid. It's like, you can't say that. That's not how it works. I mean, the whole thing with the rioting over Captain America becoming a Hydra agent happened and became the biggest internet comic book sensation. And people are saying it's still a good book, 5 issues in, and it's at number 40 on the comic book list when it comes to how much it's sold.
Wow. Really?
It dropped from the top 10 all the way down to 40 within 5 issues.
Oh.
Now, that could just be because of backlash.
Yeah. Sure.
Obviously. Because people don't want to see an evil Captain America. I don't really care about the heel turn. That doesn't bug me. What bugs me is the political agenda that the book pushes that I don't like. The social justice warrior and tumble rights speech that I find on the damn book in issue 1 does not build confidence. And also making the Red Skull sound like Donald Trump doesn't help.
Yeah.
That's not the Red Skull. The Red Skull is a Nazi, and Donald Trump is maybe stupid, he may be crazy, but as long as I'm concerned, he's not a Nazi, he's not Hitler. So please don't make the Red Skull parrot that sort of crap just to quote unquote manipulate his Hydra agents to strap bombs to their chests and blow things up. Here, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the panel. I'll give you the panel on the screen somewhere, and you can judge for yourself. It's like, is the writer Nick Spencer literally saying to you that if you disagree with social justice warriors, or if you're a member of the opposite party that he is, which is, I don't know, liberal or whatever the hell you want to call it, and you're a part of the opposite side, he thinks that you guys strap bombs to your chests and blow up trains.
So,
that's his logic, not mine. I'm just showing it right. I'll show it right now on screen. Everybody can freaking see it right now. This is his viewpoint.
Just edit it in later.
It'll be edited in. It's not there now, but it will be there. Trust me. It will be there, and this panel is the panel I've used to refute the fact that comic book is trash.
yeah.
It's not the fact that it's a story about Cap believing himself to be a Hydra agent for his entire life. No. Considering that they debunked that literally the second issue in. I don't care about that. That could be an interesting story. Who knows where it could go. But the book is mired down by Nick Spencer's terrible writing. And his very political viewpoint. Thinking that Captain America is a place where you can just shout your political opinion, where that's not the entire purpose of the character. The character is there to stand for the ideas of the people. But basically, considering that he's white, apparently he's inherently evil. Sure, let's go with that. And on another note, I did say that Cap dropped to number 40, I think, last month. Here's the thing, the other Captain America book, the Sam Wilson, is all the way down to 79 and bordering probably being in the bottom 100. in comic book sales. So please, everybody, keep saying that book is fantastic while it continues to diminish in sales, and DC keeps on chomping out more segments of the shares in comic book sales. Please keep telling me that. Please keep saying it, because let's just be honest, the facts do not match.
Can't dispute the numbers.
No, you cannot.
Numbers are a theory, bro.
Numbers don't count. I've actually heard that argument where they said, "Oh no,
wait. Numbers don't count.
Number sales don't count."
Oh,
What?
There was
the rabbit hole has begun.
This was something that actually happened where one of them months ago said, "Look at the sales." I looked at them and I'm like, "These could be better." And then, several months later, the book sales become abysmal at Marvel after DC's Rebirth. And then I use it, and then he's like, "I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I still enjoy the stories." I'm like, okay. And you were trying to defend them months ago, saying, I think that they're doing a fantastic job. You're just a hater. You're just someone who just doesn't like the books, or you have a bias, which actually wasn't one of his responses to me. It's like, you just have a bias. It's like, I'm not against Marvel. As I said, I like Marvel and DC Comics, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't show favoritism to one or the other. If DC was in the same boat, I'd be giving them crap too. Why do you think I never bothered to talk about the New 52? It was a waste of time. I didn't even bother reading it. The only thing I read was maybe a part of an Aquaman comic and the first volume of Batman and the Court of Owls. That's it.
Though you have to admit, the character designs from it were pretty cool.
I don't know. Some people like Jim Lee's character design, others don't. It's like a hit and miss. Because Jim Lee's very 90s.
Well, I like the 90s. It's what I remember.
True. It's the closest thing I have to memories.
Oh, God. No, get out of my head. Why? No.
But,
No, hit me with the switch, Pop. No, not the woodshed.
okay, but yeah, to be honest, the whole thing with comic book, the sales figures right now and the market share for both Marvel and DC, at least in their comic book division, is night and day. And that night is being won by literally DC Comics. There was someone who showed article after article of actual comic book stores telling everybody, like, look, these books are not selling. The only book that we're managing to get off the shelf that's Marvel related are the Star Wars titles, and even then, they're teetering on being in the top 10. And most of the time, and when it comes to superhero-related books, they're not even in the top 10 most of the time. Or barely teetering on it. Like, I think last month Spider-Man was at number 10, which is the highest he has been for over 3 months. Which is bad for your flagship character that you tend to keep on ignoring.
And telling the origin story, too, over and over and over again.
Well, they do it again with... Actually, no, the Batman comics actually didn't even do that. All the Rebirth Batman books didn't even go back. It's like, here is Batman's origin story. It's like, we know the origin story. Everybody who with a pulse knows it. We can move past that and talk about something else.
No, well, I was talking about your comment on Spider-Man. I was talking about how Spider-Man's origin story has been told over and over and over again.
True. And to me...
I always forget that one line, though, about, like, power...
Well, with great power...
Oh, God, I hate you. I hate you so much.
With great power comes great responsibility.
You gotta do good things when you have the capability. Yeah,
that's the mentally challenged versions, ladies and gentlemen. The one thing that I find really interesting is that people gave a lot of flack to the Amazing Spider-Man movie for going over the origin again. And then I think some people complained of the fact that Uncle Ben didn't actually, say the line, with great power comes great responsibility.
He didn't say that in the comic, did he?
No, he didn't, because that was at the end when Stanley was doing his, end of story, me talking. type
That
thing.
should have been his cameo.
Exactly.
Yes.
That should be his
Yes.
cameo. If you're gonna do it again, that should be his cameo, or at the very least his voice saying, "With great power comes great responsibility. Excelsior!" and move on. Because because in reality, Ben never said it
Yeah.
at all. He never said it. Peter just figured it out on his own.
Yeah.
That's the reality. He learned it on his own. Saying that Ben said it and taking away the fact that Peter learned it on his own,
Takes away some of the character development. Yeah.
which is what I applauded the Amazing Spider-Man for doing, is that he didn't say it. He talked about responsibility, but he didn't directly say, "With great power comes great responsibility." He didn't directly quote it. He just used parts of it, and then Peter pieced it together after Ben's death in the movie. And actually, in all reality, I'm going to miss Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was a good Peter Parker and a good Spider-Man.
Yeah, I liked him a lot more. I like Tobey, but Tobey was more of the sad, depressing parts of Spider-Man with very little humor to
Very little.
add a little bit more levity to his character. And the Amazing Spider-Man movie actually also showed a Spider-Man that actually is a part of the city. He's a part of the family of New York. Where in the Raimi films, he doesn't really show Spider-Man as, hanging out with police, helping out. Well, he helps people, but he's just there and then he's gone. He swoops in, saves the day, and leaves. He doesn't stick around for another, to give people high fives a lot of the time or anything. He did that a few times, but not as much as the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man did.
Also, I will say this.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire was great in Spider-Man 3 because that was a great comedy.
I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna argue with that. It was funny. I liked it too. Yeah. They picked the worst possible. Venom, I would have just preferred a Harry Osborn Spider-Man fight, but
yeah, they tried to do too much at the end because they knew they were losing the IP.
Yeah. Anyway. We were going to talk about Power Rangers. I don't even know how long we've been going. How long have we been going?
Rangers, you mighty morphin.
Oh, it's not as long as I thought. It's not as long as I thought it was going. I thought it felt like we've been here forever.
Well, we started recording about 15 to 20 minutes after the call started, so that means we've been recording for about an hour to 10 minutes at most.
Maybe, roughly, depending on how much editing I have to do. We'll see, but that's fine.
Get your censored bleeps.
I don't have any. I lost my Gundam sound clip.
I'll have to send those back to you then.
Please do, because I actually like that sound. I love using it for censoring myself. I loved it. Well, I don't normally care about censoring myself in the podcast that much. I like being more laid back about it anyway. I couldn't send you guys images of the Power Rangers, or at least the new movie posters. I don't know if you guys have seen them.
I have not even heard about it.
Huh?
Yeah.
I haven't even heard about a new movie coming out. Is it with the new folks, or is it going to be sort of a throwback to the old ones?
It's with the new cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And interestingly,
Bryan
Cranston is what was it, Zordon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston is going to be Zordon, and they got some guy. I think I recognize him, but I cannot remember his name. They have the person who's cast as Alpha 5. The cast has been assembled. They have their Rita. They have their Rangers. I don't think that they've announced if we're going to see Goldar or any of the other known baddies that accompany Rita everywhere she goes. Her goofball cast, who I actually like. They're very endearing, and I actually like Goldar. He was my favorite bad guy.
He was cool.
But I think what was his name? I like the one guy from Power Rangers in Space, the guy who looked like a computer grid from Star Trek. The green and the black lines. I can never remember his name.
You've completely lost me. I stopped. I could say, but I stopped after the final bits of the first series.
Right. Okay. I'm probably just talking up a wall. I can't remember his name.
I just want to know who Bulk and Skull is going to be.
I don't know if they've been cast. I don't know. The one thing I'm not going to say that this movie is going to be crappy right out the gate. I'm just looking at it and I'm not really liking what I'm seeing, but I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt because we are trying to have a slightly older, more high-budget Power Ranger film than what we've ever seen before, which I'm okay with.
It's just that the Power Ranger movie track record had to be very good.
I think the first movie is fine. I actually love the campiness of it.
It's fine. I agree. I
own the damn thing on DVD, and I'm not ashamed that I watch it every once in a while.
Don't be. You'll like what you like, and honestly, as you said, it's fine. It's not great, but it's fine.
The only parts that I think are probably the worst parts of the movies are like the CGI Zord parts and things of that nature. It kind of bogs down everything else, but I love like Ivan Ooze's performance. I can never remember the actor's name.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, I love that. Think of all the things I've missed! The Spanish Inquisition! The Black Plague! The Brady Bunch reunion! I love that line. While he's destroying Zordon's cave. I actually liked the way that I don't remember the actor's name, but I loved every bit of screen time he had. Meet my kids!
It's sort of like how that old movie Dungeons and Dragons was really bad, but you stayed tuned into it because the main villain was just so over the top.
It's the same reason why I give high esteem to Jack Nicholson's Joker. Despite the fact that he's campy, I actually like him a lot. He's my second favorite Joker I've ever seen. Jared Leto, unfortunately, right now is at the bottom. Poor Jared.
For me, my favorite Joker will always be Mark Hamill.
Well, yeah, Mark Hamill's my top guy too. So, but Jack Nicholson's right underneath him.
Yeah. Wait. Rephrase, please. For the love of God, rephrase.
He would be number 2. Okay, does that help?
Yes, because we all know Jack Nicholson.
Your dirty mind, dang it!
Combined, they are ultimate Joker.
Well, we could talk about the theory or the reality that there's actually 3 Jokers in the DC universe. Does anybody want to discuss that? No. Wait, we'll
I
talk
think
about
it's been
Power
discussed
Rangers.
at length by many people already.
I find it relatively interesting, but I want to wait and see what happens in comic book form to see if that would be interesting. Maybe talk about it with Megazord later. Anyway, the thing that bugged me the most about the Power Rangers, I don't hate Rita's design. It's fine. It's definitely going to make a bunch of fanboys and fangirls get very excited, I'm sure. It's a lot sexier than the old one, that's for... Yeah. I'm not going to argue that fact.
I can't even see what it looks like because I have not been sent the image or anything, and I don't want to pull up a browser and just in case it makes my voice go, "Hello, everyone. My name is Rabbit Sensei Gaming. Yeah, I'm here because I sound like a robot."
Maybe we'll get more viewership that way.
Maybe, but you know what? Screw you.
Okay, I'll put up a browser. I'll try and find images, okay? Does that make you feel better?
I thought you had it saved to your computer and you could just send it over.
I didn't have time. No time! We're in a hurry. I'm not professional at all.
What I did, because I actually read an interview with Bryan Cranston, and then they kind of went into more detail as to the characters. And they were saying they're definitely kind of going from the, alien technology aspect. So, like, the suits are pretty shiny. Yeah. And
they are very Iron. They're very Iron Man-like.
Yeah, so they're definitely not spandex, sort of like the old, and sort of the same idea of, like, Iron Man's, like, extremist armor.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's an interesting concept. Kind of more sci-fi-ish, and then they said darker, but there's a lot of different ideas on what that means, obviously, because they are teenagers, right? They're supposed to be going through teenage life.
They're supposed to be teenagers with attitude. Yeah,
right. Exactly, as the plot synopsis says.
At least the original. I think we're going to be getting a much more moodier and angsty version of that.
Right.
The one thing that could be happening is maybe they're going to make it sort of as a pseudo sequel to where it's later in the future.
No, they're rebooted. It's not. They don't. Okay. They didn't even bring back the original cast.
Right.
It's an entirely new one.
Pretty young. All the Rangers look pretty young.
Coming in March 2017, Power Rangers. So
does this mean I have to hear a new? Oh God! Please tell me they're not going to make a dubstep version of the Power Rangers theme.
One surprise, and it'll be terrible.
Yeah.
And everyone will be begging for the older version. It's like, please, why'd you do that? I think that this is going to be very. I'm getting the sense. I cannot. I have been having trouble finding the image of the new posters that they released, where they had a bunch of the new. Kind of hinting a little bit at the Zords themselves. I'm having trouble finding it. But maybe I won't worry about it. To be perfectly honest, I have a feeling that this movie is going to be very, very close to... what is it? What am I thinking? Here I am.
I've never heard of that movie before. What's that one about?
It's going to be
musical interlude.
It's going to be Transformers. It's going to be like a Michael Bay.
Oh, please no.
Version of Power Rangers. I'm calling it now.
No,
I'm calling it now.
It depends. Would it be like the first Michael Bay Transformers movie or the ones after?
Touche.
It'd probably be the ones after. or maybe the first one. I couldn't tell you.
I did like the first one.
Yeah, the first one was actually well made.
Yeah.
It's an okay film. It's definitely not what I was hoping for, but it's what you get, and it's,
And they didn't give us the theme song, dagnabbit.
Transformers.
Robots in disguise.
Nope, none of that. We're not allowed to have fun. But unfortunately, yeah, it looks... I mean, I'm not opposed to everybody having... I feel like it's just like, hey, let's just keep ripping off what works. Let's just make Power Rangers look like Iron Man because that's popular. That'll sell toys. And
right, as long as they don't do that.
And I'm like, no, that's what they're doing because that's what the design is. It's freaking Iron Man.
Though in all fairness, any full body suit that's going to have metal on it is going to look a lot like Iron Man.
Well, I just sent you a picture of Rita, and now I gotta go find the image of the Rangers.
That is not Rita.
That is Rita.
That is not Rita.
That's Rita.
That is Poison Ivy.
I know. I told. I'm pointing it out now. I already know, and I'm all like, "Hey, this is what they're giving you." I don't have.
I do actually like the designs of the Power Ranger suits. They do look very alien.
Which is what they're going for. They're going for a more alien motif. Because they're trying to say like the power crystals or the. Although, yeah, they seem to be going with the power crystal thing opposed to the power coin. And they're saying that the crystal actually encompasses their bodies in some weird way, and it fuses with them, and it's like...
Bow chicka bow wow?
I think you're going a little bit too deep for people who basically just ran around in spandex and just said it's morphing time. I think you're going... You're trying to add a little bit of lore where there really doesn't really need to be one. If you want to expand on like Zordon's history and like where he got the power coins or where he made the morphing grid or something of that nature, that's cool. I'm all down for that. But don't try and make the power suits sound like they're something even more amazing than what they already are. They're just a power suit. And I don't know if I like the design. I really don't know. And if I could find the images, I would, but... Most people probably know what I'm talking about, or they can find it on their own. A lot of people have reacted to it on YouTube. I don't really like the design that I'm seeing for the Zords, because as you will probably see from Megazord's image on the screen, you can't mess with something that was already pretty darn awesome to begin with. You can't mess with perfection. There's a reason why that Megazord is iconic, and the reason why that one is the one, whenever, even people who don't really like Power Rangers or even know what Power Rangers is, and you say Megazord, that's the one they're going to point to. That's the one they're going to remember. This one, better off, and with the over-design that I have a feeling they're going to go for, which, with the higher budget, I would expect. I'm concerned that we're going to get a Transformer-ish Megazord.
Yeah.
With too many moving parts. Way too many moving parts.
In all fairness, the Megazord technically was a Transformer because it took multiple transforming, Zords to form it.
Well, I'm not arguing that fact. I'm talking about the overall design when it's all together.
Yeah, well,
because remember,
Michael Bays are way too overbuilt.
Yeah, they're like so many moving parts.
Maybe more along the lines of Pacific Rim.
Yes,
would be
that's
acceptable. You know?
Yeah, I want that
I
where
agree.
there's enough mechanics to say, oh, hey, look, that's moving. Hey, that looks kind of cool. But no, I'm afraid that it's going to be way too over-designed. It's going to look way too much like the Transformer movies. They're going to try and over-design everything. They're going to try and make it seem edgier and cooler than it is because they think that's what we want as an audience. That's not what I want. I want to see the original Megazord in live action that looks as closely representative of his old counterpart as humanly possible. I know you have to update it, but please, for the love of God, do not ruin this for me. I can live with the Iron Man Power Rangers. I cannot live if the Megazord itself looks like crap. What?
Okay, I see.
That's just that's what I want to see.
Okay, well, let's see what you want to see here. Also, when it comes to the Power Rangers power suits, I have to say it. Okay, Wolf, you have to put that GIF in there. You have to.
What? What did you
That
say?
is amazing.
What did you say? I'm trying to find what the hell you're talking about.
When you click what he linked to us, you have to put that GIF that he linked us to in this
I'm trying to. He didn't send it to me directly.
Oh, it's in our group chat.
I'm trying to find it, but I don't know how to find it.
You go up to where our name is. You see the little bubble that has the speech thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Click that. There you go.
Technical difficulties.
But what I was going to say, though, about the Power Rangers suits is I actually like them because, one, they do look alien, but instead of looking Iron Man-ish, I think they look more like something out of Warframe.
Warframe. Oh, gosh.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's an action MMO.
Oh. I might have heard of it, but I don't know it, probably. Okay, yeah, I will try. I will save this GIF, and I will use it.
And you can make it slow motion.
I don't know if I can do that. Don't ask the world of me. I'm still learning things.
Well, you gotta be careful. That GIF right there, it came from Megazord. It came from Mega here, who has admitted that he's Noble Gundam in disguise. So you might want to be careful when doing anything in slow motion. You might see a frame you weren't expecting. Just gonna put that out there. He's been hiding things from us so far. I'm
trying to identify where these robots came from. They look like Power Ranger suits or Power Ranger Zords, but they don't look very familiar to me. I might know them, but I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, moving on.
You know what I want to see?
What?
I want to see, if they're going to reboot something, I want to see them reboot VR Troopers.
That might be good.
That'd be interesting.
Or Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Oh my gosh.
Do it! I want to see another one.
Let's not forget the Super Samurai Cyber Squad.
That too. Actually, to be completely honest, when it comes to Super Sentai or Tokusatsu related stuff, what I really want, more than anything, is I want someone to start releasing Kamen Rider. Yeah, I want to be able to own it on DVD. I'm not asking you to make a US version, though you've tried it twice and it just didn't succeed that well. Please don't try that again unless you're committed. Although they weren't too bad, they were decent. But I want them out on DVD, just like who is it? Shout Factory has been releasing the old Power Ranger shows in their original Japanese format. The original Super Sentai versions. My brother has at least the Zoo Ranger or the Jew Ranger, which is where we got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from. the original format, which is actually really cool and it's a very different take on what we got. Sometimes it is. It's like a strict departure from what we got. But I just I want Shout Factory to say, hey, we're going to grab the license for Kamen Rider and we're going to start releasing Kamen Rider DVDs. Because the only other way to watch Kamen Rider is through not so legal formats. I don't know of any legal way of doing it. I know there are fan dub sites and whatnot that they're not asking for money, at least. So, it's free. It's fan-made. At least it's something, but other than that...
So, do you need some help with digging that grave there?
What grave?
Oh, you just admit to being a pirate.
I didn't admit to being a pirate. Did I?
All right, let's flag this video.
I'm not leaving links for it.
I did hear some suggestions of piracy. Yes.
Yes, I'm not comfortable with that. I think we need a flag, man. I think we need a flag.
Definitely. Maybe mass flag all videos.
Be warned, you do that to me, I do it right back to you. I'm not going to tolerate your shenanigans. If you're going to do it to me, I'll do it right back. I will find a way, and I will flag.
I will find you, and I will flag you.
That was actually what I was thinking.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome to make something like that. With this
I don't have a lot of views.
Yes. But I've been given a special set of skills.
Skills.
From YouTube.
That make me a nightmare for people like you. Those skills include bad editing.
Wow.
And as Robin said, I will find you. And I will flag you. We do not endorse flagging at all. That's a terrible thing to do. Don't do that. Unless someone is actually literally breaking the law.
Yeah, like if they took someone's video, they put it on their channel, and all they did was mirror it so that it's so that it looks, wrong. Where the right hand is, when the right hand is making the left hand, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Basically, reaction channels and anybody who uploads full movies to YouTube. Those people we do not approve of. Bad people. Shame. Shame. Okay, Megazord, what do you have to say about the Power Ranger related stuff?
Oh. I don't know.
You don't know.
I guess, as long as the darker slant isn't too dark, because everybody wants to go dark. Everybody wants to brood. Everyone wants to take our childhood, experiences. The
destroyers of childhood.
Let's make it real, because there's a big difference between making it real and making it dark and, bitter. There's no need to do that. So as long as they retain the fun aspect of the show.
Yeah.
Maybe, sure, more serious. That's fine. But just
somewhat more serious, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to go all Dark Knight on it.
I think that the most healthiest version would be the new Boom Studios Power Ranger comics. They're old enough to where, you can enjoy them, but they're not overly dark and whatnot. It's tackling some serious stuff, but not going over the top. We're dark and brooding. I'm
Batman.
Yeah, basically, it's like, I'm Batman. If Batman was a Power Ranger.
Oh, God, don't give him ideas.
Where are the putties going?
And the thing is, like part of that, too, I think, is these reboots, like they just take themselves too seriously, and then I can't take it seriously.
Yeah,
because it's taking itself too seriously, Yeah,
a little bit of levity never hurt nobody.
Yeah.
I was just thinking this. This would, I think, be very funny for like a top 5 or a top 10 people, or for a top 10 people who destroyed your childhood.
Okay, let's see who to put up the list here.
Or better yet, actually go for the people who actually are unapologetic and vehemently admit that they destroyed your childhood.
Michael Bay.
Bay.
Who's the other a-hole? I don't remember his name.
Brian Michael Bendis?
I guess maybe he has to go to the list because I went out my way to forget his name.
I'm not well, the one thing that's funny is I've seen his Twitter account, and it actually literally says in the bio, "Destroyer of Childhood."
Okay, now he goes down to being off the list because that is amazing.
No, I still actually keep him on the list. I keep him on the list because he's a hack, and I don't like him.
No, I keep him off the list because if he's admitting that he's destroying childhoods, that means that was his goal. So he's doing his job right.
His job that he was hired by Marvel to do, apparently. And gets paid to write comics. It's like, could somebody please stop? I mean, okay, I'm going to get on a... What? Go ahead.
I know the number one people who ruined my childhood.
Okay, go for it.
The new CEOs at Konami.
I'm not going to argue that. That would probably be very high on my list, too.
I miss Castlevania.
Yeah. Hey, you're getting one that's a spiritual successor, and hopefully it'll be better than Mighty Number 9. Zing!
Yeah, that would be nice. But still, it won't be called Castlevania.
True, but does it have to be?
Yes.
How sad.
It's part of the deal.
There's some deep emotional ties happening right now.
It's so deep and emotional. It's so sad. We're going to weep bitter tears. We're going to have a eulogy. We're going to have an RIP and have Konami pasted on it right now.
My two very first games that I ever played were Mega Man and Castlevania on the NES. Followed shortly by Ninja Gaiden. Which explains a lot, I'm guessing, as to why I'm masochistic when it comes to video games.
You like to torture yourself with very, very high level and high difficulty level games.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
Especially that original Mega Man. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, the first one's crazy.
I almost beat
jumping. It's like, what is happening?
I almost beat it once.
Yeah. The Gusman stage and the Wily Castle stages that have those little platforms that the pixels are so small that you can't even see when it's going to drop off.
Yeah. I think that was one of the levels I actually got stuck on when I was playing it. I think that was the level where I gave up and was like, okay, Mega Man, you win. I'm not going to be able to finish this one. I tried. I really tried, Blue Bomber, but I just can't do it. I don't have the fortitude to continue this horrible masochism that I'm going through right now. But yeah, I think that would be something fun to do as a top 5 people who destroyed your childhood.
Yeah.
Some people would probably put George Lucas on that list too.
Well, I wouldn't say he destroyed the childhood because he tried doing his own thing. Those were actually the first 3 Star Wars that he was actually given full creative freedom on. The original 3 were actually sort of a collaboration effort.
Can I say that J.J. Abrams destroyed Star Wars for me? Is that fair?
Well, no, not really.
No, I think it is fair. I think it's fair. Because I'm really I'm not going to say where I don't know if I should say where I found it, but I did watch another person's podcast where they did have what is to believe to be a leak of the screenplay for the next Star Wars.
Yeah, I never trust those.
Well, you don't have to trust them, but if that is, it wouldn't surprise me if parts of that are actually going to be in the film, and I'll be face palming during episode.
Luke, I am your mother!
Or something to that extent. Oh, God, I don't know. Oh, boy. I think that I was hoping that they'd divert. Please do not remake Empire Strikes Back. Please don't do anything that hasn't already been done to death already in Star Wars. Please try to differentiate yourself just a smidge.
Well, Wolf, that's where I have to say that's why I think J.J. Abrams actually did a good job with the first one, because the first one is him showing, yes, I remember what's all in the old one. Now I've got that out of the way. I can do new stuff.
Let's hope that's the case. If I see a trailer for Episode 8 and it's pretty much them ripping off an Empire Strikes Back, I'm going to call bullshit, and I'm going to say, I'm going to watch your movie and I'm going to be thoroughly bored because I've already seen this movie and I know how it ends.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Most of the part, I don't hate the movie. I don't hate it entirely.
In other words, you can't say he destroyed Star Wars for you. That would be the multitude of years of mental abuse given to you by Episode 2, Attack the Clones.
I didn't hate that movie though. I actually liked
Trust me.
the prequels.
Secretly you did.
No,
that
actually,
specific one. That specific one.
That's the surprising thing. That's a surprising thing. Everybody when I found out that so many people hated the prequel films.
Oh, I don't hate the prequels. I just hate Episode 2. That's it.
Very.
It triggers
It's very
him.
direct hatred.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. I liked some of the elements. Of course, I liked seeing at least somewhat of Boba Fett's origin.
Yeah,
And I also liked the lightsaber duel with Yoda. I can't deny that watching that little green guy bounce around like a crazy person was entertaining as hell, and I never anticipated that would ever happen. May have been CGI'd and whatnot, but at the very least, it's like, that's something that I never thought I would ever see in a Star Wars movie, where a near 800-year-old man, or in this case, little green elf, decided, you know what, this cane is a facade. I actually don't need it. I'm going to just drop it to the side, open up my robe, take out a lightsaber, which no one even knew I had, apparently, and I'm going to just go to town on my old Padawan and just beat the crap out of him.
Yep. And then, of course, the picking up of the cane right afterwards was
and he's just like, okay, back to the facade of me being a crinkled old man.
But yeah, I understand. I respect what you're saying there.
Yeah.
The whole reasons I dislike Episode 2 is because, well, yeah, I did like seeing the origin of Boba Fett, and I did like, the premise of it, sort of noir-style feel to a Star Wars film. I did like that idea. The Episode 2 started off strong, then the middle was very, very, very long and delayed, and just
it dragged too long.
Way too long. And then the ending was good. So the beginning and the ending were good in that one, but the middle, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I might go in detail, I don't know, some other time maybe, on my somewhat... you know what, I'll do it here right now, just to get it out of the way so I don't have to do it later.
Because you'll forget?
No, I probably won't forget because it's still ingrained in my brain. I don't hate most of the characters in 7, except for the fact of how J.J. Abrams has shown this movie, and has shown that every single past cast member, or past characters, Luke, Han, and Leia, are incompetent. They are 100% incompetent. They don't even need to be in the movie, technically. Aside from Han's probably the only one that we really need, because the rest of them, Han, and Chewie. Because Chewie's fine, considering barely says or does anything to begin with. Well, he does some stuff, but Chewie's always cool, despite what happens. But Han's entire point of being in the film... Oh, wait, hold on. Megazord, did you watch the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
God.
I was just double checking. Because I'd forgotten that. I don't even remember if you missed it or what. I can't remember what movies you missed.
I didn't see it in theaters, but I did see
it. Yeah.
So, spoiler warning to anyone who's watching. You're about to hear spoilers.
I'm not even going to warn you next time. I'm just going to go out and say, I'm just going to spoil everything.
Well, you didn't warn them this time. I had to.
You can shove spoiler warnings all you want. I'm going to spoil things on this podcast, probably for a lot of people.
Spoiler warning. Wolf is about spoiling with spoilers and not liking to have spoilers to spoil the spoilers.
Flag.
Lagging videos. This is the new trend on YouTube. But yeah, the entire point of Han even being there is to die. And Harrison Ford phoned it in through the entire film. He didn't really want to be there, obviously, because he's wanted the character dead for years.
Yeah, he wanted it to happen in The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, he wanted him dead. So he's there for a paycheck. That's it. Bar none, he's there for a paycheck, and it shows in his performance. The ending scene with him and Kylo Ren, trying to have a father-son moment. There was no chemistry. It didn't feel realistic to me at all. And I was just like, why am I not sad that Han Solo just died? Why do I not care?
Speak for yourself.
Why do I not? This is what happened when I went and saw the movie.
Fair enough.
This is me.
You are speaking for yourself.
Kind of already. You see, I had already heard the rumors that he was going to die. I had already heard the rumors, so I was anticipating it. I kind of had.
What did it then?
No, because I was hoping that even though I had the feeling he was going to die, it was going to be at least a good performance, and that both him and whoever was going to kill him, which is obviously going to be his son, it was going to be a very touching and very sad moment. When I saw it in the theater, I don't know, maybe if I see it again later on, if I ever feel the urge to waste another near 2 hours of my life. 2 to 3 hours of my life. Watching J.J. Abrams fail at lightsaber choreography.
Yeah, that is definitely one thing that wasn't good in the new one. The lightsaber choreography could have been a lot better. Kylo Ren's choreography was all right. It was all right. Whenever you're looking at the original trilogy, it matched that a little bit more with Kylo Ren's swordplay.
Maybe. But
the prequel trilogy did the best when it came to lightsaber choreography.
Of course. Because they were mixing more stuff into it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just didn't feel anything when it happened. I was like, oh, he's dead now. I should feel sad about this. I should feel like kind of like how Obi-Wan died in A New Hope. I should be at least feeling a little bit of remorse. It's like, oh man, that guy was really cool. I liked him. And considering how much I mean, I'm not the biggest Harrison. Well, no, I like Harrison Ford.
I was about to say, you better not say that.
Because I really like the Indiana Jones movies, and a lot of his other films too. They're all pretty good.
Fun fact: I actually like the fourth Indiana Jones film.
Come at us, haters! Come at us.
It makes it clear it's going to be aliens from the beginning. You see that he's at Area 51. Come on.
There's just certain things that just people will never tolerate. But the fact that Han Solo was one of my favorite characters to an extent, he wasn't my all-time favorite, but I did like him. To see him, go and backtrack opposed to moving forward as a character, and he's like, oh, I'm a smuggler again because apparently my son went psychotic, and I abandoned my wife, I abandoned the Republic, to go back and do roguish and naughty things again because, hey, what else do I have to do? Stupid as hell.
Gosh. That should be a sideshow. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. But
go ahead.
Roguish and naughty things.
That should be a show.
Yes.
Sometime this fall.
Roguish and naughty.
Naughty things. Where the bedroom?
Okay, but it ruined any form of character development. All of them, except for probably Chewbacca, got their characters pretty much destroyed. Luke, Leia, and Han simultaneously became irrelevant in the film to pretty much exhaustive extents. It's like they're there, and I'm expecting them to hold important parts, and to some extent some of them do, like Leia and Han at least.
I know Luke was left speechless whenever he saw his lines in episode 7.
Yeah, literally. It's like you hired Mark Hamill and you couldn't even give him a goddamn line. What a freaking shock. You couldn't even say, like, you have come.
That look, though, was really good.
Well, I'm not going to deny that it looked really good, and it's like, okay, hey, cool, it's Luke. I was expecting when that scene actually happened, I was expecting him to say something like, oh, maybe him to act somewhat more like Yoda or something. It's like, are you looking for something? Or it's like,
you have.
It's like, what are you searching for, young one? Or something of that nature. But no, it's just a silent moment where he's just looking at her, and then she just shows his lightsaber, which still, that's a goddamn plot hole in the movie. Why is that there? For the love of Pete and Jesus, why the hell is it there?
Who knows? Maybe they'll explain it with one of these side movies that they're coming out with. We already know they're coming out with Rogue One, which actually looks pretty good.
I'm holding out hope. What little hope I have left for Star Wars. Why is it there? Because it fell down in Cloud City. And as far as we know, because it was never explained, and Luke never went out to go find the damn thing, it was on a mining colony on Cloud City. So you have to assume, I don't know what they mine in Cloud City. It's like, who went out to go find it? Who even knew it was there in the first place besides Luke? Did Luke go and get it? Why did he go and get it? He made his own lightsaber. He didn't need that one anymore. It would have made more sense if they gave the lightsaber, if they wanted to give a lightsaber, it should have been the one that he originally had in Return of the Jedi. It should have been the one he built himself, the green one.
Because, I think he still has that one. Well,
considering that he exiled himself and chose basically that I don't know, I guess to an extent he said, I'm not really going to be a Jedi anymore because my Jedi Order failed within probably less than the span of a few years. I'm just going to, not do that, and I'm just going to, become a hobo like all my other previous masters and probably not even have a lightsaber.
Space hobos.
Space hobos in space. I mean, yeah, he could. It's a possibility. He probably kept it, but at the same time, why? I mean, if he decided to exile himself and decided, you know what, I don't want to hold on to a lightsaber anymore, because obviously it's brought me nothing but grief and trouble. Why didn't he hand that one over? That would have made a lot more sense to me. To hand over the one he actually still had in his possession. I mean, he's out in the middle of nowhere where no one can find him. Does he really need a lightsaber out in the middle of nowhere? Where it doesn't even look like there's any wildlife to threaten him in the first place. Does he need a lightsaber, technically?
You need it for the coconut.
Considering the fact that Jedis, I think, have the power to probably go on sheer force of,
will?
Alone, probably without even needing food, I don't really think they need it.
That's not how the Force works.
It's an all-encompassing thing that binds everybody.
Yeah, you see these things called midichlorians.
No, not George again!
As dumb as people think, because that's actually based off of a bit of a Buddhist belief where someone's strength comes from within their own blood.
Yeah.
It's where their mystical, so it sort of makes sense, He based Star Wars loosely off of, I believe it was The Hidden Castle, which was a Japanese samurai film. So clearly he wants to add Asian, influences into it. So it would make sense.
I mean, most of the lightsaber combat is based in Kendo.
I was about to say, that would explain all that.
At least when they did like the original movies, it was solely based in things like Kendo and samurai-based films.
Yeah.
When they did all the fights.
And episodes 1 through 3, it went straight to fencing from France.
Yeah, they mixed in fencing with Kendo and other forms of martial arts. It was fun, but yeah, this is an example to me, considering that through the entire film, they show Rey as a character of being so amazing and so fantastic. She's the Mary Sue of Star Wars at this point. In my case, worse than Anakin. Although, at least in the first movie, I will say Mary Sue bells were ringing in that one. Not so much in the other ones because he was constantly berated and called out. But she's like the Mary Sue, that one of the biggest Mary Sues I think I've ever seen in my life, and she gets everything handed to her. She earns nothing, quite literally. I mean, all of a sudden, hey, I magically know how to use the Force. Hey, now I'm able to actually go toe-to-toe with a guy who at least has, maybe roughly a decade's worth of experience with a lightsaber? Who failed in Kylo Ren's training? Seriously. I'm asking the question. This mopey, pathetic loser is supposed to be the scary bad guy. I'm not scared of him. I call him Kylo Ren. I'm saying it now, because it's all he freaking does through the entire movie. I'm sad. I want to be like Grandpa. And then throws a temper tantrum when somebody doesn't catch anything. At least when subordinates from Vader failed, at least he did something about it. He would choke them out. He would kill them. He would punish them for failing him. No, instead of actually, I don't know, gutting the guy who failed you, instead you decide, no, I'm going to turn around, get my really amazing looking lightsaber, and beat the crap out of a terminal. Like a child.
Though, in all fairness,
he is young.
It could also be the fact that the stormtroopers have wisened up over the years after seeing Darth Vader, because you saw what happened in that movie. He was throwing a fit. The stormtroopers just say, "No, I'm turning around. Bye."
Well, it's just a lack of intimidation factor, because with Vader and whatnot, it's like, one, you have this really tall actor in a giant, very, very terrifying black suit, who's obviously there to intimidate and scare the crap out of you, and you get the vibe of, this is a guy you don't mess with, or you don't fail, because he's going to kill you. And they showed it just like in the first 10-15 minutes of the film when he invades the ship, and he just walks in like he owns the joint, picks up guys literally with his bare hand and says, "Give me what I want." And of course the person's lying. It's like, "We received no transmission, blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Okay, fine. You're dead. All right, Commander, tear the ship apart." It's like, that's intimidation. And then killing people from literally light years away for failing him. In Empire Strikes Back, it's like, "We're sorry, sir. We didn't get what you wanted." Okay, you're in charge now. You better not fail me too. Otherwise, that's going to be you next time.
What you see, though, is the story they don't tell you is that guy had just choked on a chickpea. And that's what really killed him. Darth Vader just decided to lift his hand up to make it seem like he was doing the job.
Okay.
So
I can believe that.
Very plausible.
But I mean, it's like, you're supposed to have an intimidating force of nature as the Sith Lord. If you're going to have a Sith Lord, I want to be intimidated by him. As an adult, obviously, I'm probably not going to be scared of him, but I should be either creeped out or slightly unsettled by him. Because that's what I anticipate. Darth Maul is creepy. Creepy enough because he's an alien and he looks pretty cool. And it's like, okay, he doesn't say much, and he doesn't have to say anything. Just the sheer appearance of him is scary enough. Kylo Ren's appearance, besides the fact that it's a ripoff of, I don't know, Revan, aside from that fact, I mean, it's intimidating enough, but you've got him acting like a tantrum child, and he's not even a full Sith Lord yet. What is he? A Sith acolyte? Did he fail in his duties of becoming a Sith? What was Snort doing all this damn time that he had with this bloody kid? What was he teaching him? Basically how to have a tantrum?
Don't ask, don't tell.
I'm asking, not telling. Because quite literally, it's like, this means that guy is just as incompetent as a Sith Lord. Because he didn't teach him anything. He didn't teach him, or taught him, he's like, we're going to go through the first maybe chapter of the Sith Guide of being bad, and then I want you to go out and actually do evil things and then come back to me with a report. Oh, you failed? Oh, back to the drawing board then. Close the book. It's like, does anybody understand the rule of two and the reason why Siths, well, for one, there's only normally two of them, and why the hell they're supposed to be scary? Because Revan is scary when he's a Sith Lord, or heck, even when he's not a Sith Lord and he's a Grey Jedi, he's intimidating as hell. You have his apprentice Malik, who's just as scary, especially when you take the goddamn faceplate off of him. You have the bad guy from, I cannot remember his name, from Knights of the Old Republic 2. The guy who basically looked like a walking corpse.
I don't remember.
I don't remember his name, but he was scary as hell. It's like, I want to be intimidated. And, he's got the look to be intimidating, to at least an extent. It may be a ripoff, but at least it's a motif that you can work with. But the best you can do is have him moping in the corner inside of his dark brooding office like an emo child, crying at the skull of his dead grandpa. and then have him throwing temper tantrums and failing to actually beat a novice who has no idea what the hell they're doing. It's a fail. He's a failure. And I don't think you can redeem him at this point.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still too distracted by whenever you said, removing the mask and how scary that one person was. Because all that made me think about was how Fox originally owned the ability to publish, the Star Wars movies. Yeah. And I started thinking about Predator and removing the mask. I thought, okay, I want to see a Predator with lightsaber wrist blades.
That actually would be relatively cool. I would actually, if anybody sees this podcast and is an artist and can do something like that, please feel free and share it with me on Twitter or share it to all of us.
Oh god, what's his name from Killer Instinct?
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy.
Cryzor or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I know Cry was in it. And it wasn't Kylo Ren.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't Kylo Ren. Because, to me, it's like, there's no, with his outfit and whatnot, there's no real, I don't even
know. It was Kilgore.
I don't know. The thing that bugs me the most is why did they go with a motif that looks very much like Revan? Because at least with Revan's mask, there's a background and a history to the reason why he wears it. Mm-hmm. Considering that it belonged to the leader of the Mandalorians. It was Mandalore's helmet. And he literally, after he killed him during the Mandalorian War, he took it away from him so that no one else could ever claim to be Mandalore ever again. Yeah. That's the reason why he took it and why he wore it. It's like, this is a sign that I killed the dude who was your former leader, and now no one else can ever claim to be it, because in order to be a Mandalore, you need to be having this mask, this helmet, which is a signification of your leadership. You can't do that now, can you? Because I own it. Which I actually thought was cool.
He is Mandalore.
Yes, in a sense. But considering he's never going to be leading the Mandalorians, he was more or less wanting to kill all the Mandalorians. Or at least disband them. But anyway. Yeah, I don't like Kylo Ren. I don't like Rey. The only the two characters I did like in the movie was Poe
and
Finn. I did like them. There's a character there that can be used and isn't terrible. Poe had very little character development. All he is he's just an amazing pilot who's able to kick some major butt. Aside from that, he really doesn't have much else going for him. Finn has more of a personality, at least, but I like the fact that he's a janitor. That actually was funny. It made me laugh. It's like, I'm a janitor. I'm like, you claim to be a badass stormtrooper, and all you did was clean out the trash. Hilarious. Thank you for that. That's actually funny.
Yeah. That
would have actually made it a lot more funny if he was actually the Jedi in the film to begin with. That would have actually made it more hilarious. Like, I'm a junk. I dumped trash and cleaned toilets. And now I'm a badass Jedi. Does anybody need me to use my plunger or use the Force to unclog the sink? At the very least, it would be entertaining for, internet memes and whatnot. But no, he can't be a Jedi. No, Rey has to be the Jedi. Of course she does.
Well, who knows? Maybe it'll work out in the next two.
One of the things I think that's either a theory or that they've tried to claim as the reasoning is that she's a reincarnation of the Chosen One.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. Yep, we're doing that again.
Yeah.
We're doing that again, and it's like, she is the one who will bring balance to the Force. Does that mean that she's going to turn evil again? Because they're trying to go with the prevailing theory that the Chosen One reincarnates themselves every, I guess, couple thousand years or something.
Well, this is just a fan theory, right?
I don't know if it's a fan theory or if it was confirmed. I think it might be a fan theory.
It sounds like something that's just a fan theory.
God, I hope so.
Because that sounds too campy even for J.J. Abrams.
It sounds too easy and a cop-out. It's too easy. It's way too easy.
That's what George Lucas would do.
Yeah, probably, but...
He did it once.
True. He did it once, but do you really think that he'd probably pull the same stunt again? I don't think
he doesn't
so.
own it anymore.
Well, I mean, if he still, technically, hypothetically, if he still owned it and decided he wanted to make Star Wars Episode 7, do you really think that he would do it again?
Yes.
I don't think so. Because in the original trilogy, he told one story, and in the prequels, he told another story, and he had liberty to do different things on both sides. Why not? What's to say that he wouldn't try and take another direction again? And we wouldn't have any Mary Sue characters, hopefully. Or maybe at the very least he would come up with a new cool idea and then have studio say, no, you do not have complete full range this time. We're not allowing that this time. We're going to control you a little bit more this time. Although there was the information that Return of the Jedi was going to end much differently than what we got to see in the films.
Yeah. Yeah, though, let's all face it. George Lucas, he was only ever personally ashamed of one thing, and that's the Star Wars Holiday Special, which I have seen without commentary. I've actually watched it direct.
Oh God!
I don't know why I did it. I just did. I did it on
because
Christmas.
remember,
brave.
Rabbit. Remember, you're a masochist. Remember.
I thought it was only in video games,
but apparently it's in film format too. Next thing you're gonna tell me is you're gonna watch G Savior with a straight face.
I already have.
Oh God!
I actually enjoyed it.
Really?
It's god awful, yes, but it's so bad it's good.
Oh, it's one of those things.
Savior, that is, not the holiday special. I can just no.
George Lucas doesn't even acknowledge its existence.
I know, but here's the thing: that's the only thing he doesn't acknowledge the existence of. He has directed one other film that is also equally as god awful, but he's proud of it.
And what's that one?
Howard the Duck.
Oh.
You directed that?
Are you sure he wasn't the producer on that?
I think he was director and producer.
Well, that's a possibility. I don't know. I've never seen it.
I saw it, but I've seen clips. It looks pretty bad.
I saw it whenever I was around 6 or 7 years old. I regret it to this day.
Jeez.
Still not as bad as the movie Frogs, though. If you don't know what movie Frogs is, don't search it up.
I mean, if you
you say not to search it, though, you know what I mean? I don't have to. So
now, out of Megazord's sheer curiosity, he's going to search for it. Good job.
It was made by MGM. There you go. Now you can search it up a lot easier. It's just called Frogs.
Frogs.
I mean, well, one of the worst movies I can think of that I watched that I enjoyed with a straight face was I think it was 1993 or 1996 Guyver movie, the live action one.
Oh, that was fun.
It was fun. It was bad.
It wasn't Guyver at all, but it is
Guyver. It is.
I mean, like the feel of it is what.
Well, I mean the motif of how the characters behave. No, it's not Guyver at all. But the atmosphere that they have and whatnot, that's definitely Guyver.
Oh yeah, I agree on that.
The atmosphere, the creatures and whatnot, though, that's definitely Guyver, bar none, and it was amazing, despite its bad, effects and whatnot. But yeah, I have to give credit for the Guyver costume in that film, because it's like you're taking a live adaptation of a full body biosuit, and you made it work.
It shoots boob lasers.
Yes, it shoots boob lasers, and it did that in the movie. Woo! My favorite thing to make fun of when it comes to Guyver, because I actually have the updated version of the anime too, and it's like, oh yeah, that was like that when both me and one of my other friends watched it. That was the one joke we made fun of all the time when he would open the chest up and it's like, oh look, it's boob laser time! Oh my god, such fun! And actually, the anime was actually really, really good. I actually enjoyed it. I just hated that it ended in a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And made me slightly disappointed. It's like, now you must make of it as you will. How does it end? It's like, I was hoping that it would end on a slightly happy note, but I actually anticipated it would probably end on a low note anyway, but
Yeah, it's sort of like one of those other anime movies out there that was from around the same time. Cybernetic Guardian. Ended on a cliffhanger, but my God, was it glorious. I believe it was made by the same animation company that made MD Geist.
I don't know.
It was very bloody and gory.
Like Guyver.
Yeah.
Because Guyver's the same.
Yeah. I mean, at one point in Cybernetic Guardian, a drill comes through the roof of this one area, and you literally see a guy's head get drilled apart.
Whoa. I think I'd probably prefer Guyver's methodology of murdering people and tearing apart monsters, but hey, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Hey, I'm just saying that's the level of detail they went to back then. Nowadays, it's all been streamlined. I wish they'd go back to detail, not for the gore, not just for the gore factor, but for all the other factors. Because my God, it was a thing of that's horrifying, but at the same time, man, that's impressive.
Yep. Okay.
What is that sound?
What are you doing?
That is actually a text tone. I've got to go, guys.
Okay, yeah, I was.
That is actually the sound for in Mass Effect 3 when you start the game. Yeah, I got that sound.
Okay. Well, okay.
Going for over 2 hours. So.
Yeah, this is fine. This is perfect. Anyway, guys, thank you so all for watching the podcast. We'll probably see you next time. Probably be near the end of next month. We're going to be doing this monthly instead of every week because everybody has schedules. Everybody's got lives. We have lives outside of YouTube. We can't be connected to the machine anymore. The Matrix is real, people. No. I don't even know why I'm using that reference when I've barely seen those movies.
And remember, if you go to the library, I am the sexy librarian.
Yep, that is.
I have a little eyebrow wiggle above my image there for a moment, if you would.
I would try and do that, but I don't know how I would even attempt to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and put like a sexy image of a very attractive man there or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Are you saying I'm not attractive? I see how it is.
Did I not say that it would be an attractive man?
Yeah, you're saying you're going to have to Google search an image of a very attractive man.
What do you want me to use?
What am I?
If you want me to use yours, you could have just said so. I didn't know you were so self-conscious. I didn't know it was going to trigger you. Jeez.
I'm flagging this video.
Again with the flags. Flagging this video. Bar none. This is trash.
#flagthisvideo.com.
Flagthisvideo.com. Since when do hashtags have .com at the end?
Well, are you gonna get all the hashtag fans triggered out there now? What are you trying to do, man?
I'm trying to trigger.
.coms too.
I'm gonna trigger everybody, and I don't give a crap. I'll trigger you all if that's what you want, because I don't care. If you don't like my content, you don't have to watch it. If you're triggered by this video, please leave me a like. Also, subscribe to this channel if you want to be triggered further. I've got other videos planned that'll probably trigger all the horrible fanboys out there of Marvel. I'm sure they're going to be so upset. I'm going to get a bunch of hate. Who knows? There'll probably be a massive amount of dislikes on the video, too.
I just realized I was away for most of that part, so I'm safe.
I didn't say that they had to flag you. I was directing it towards myself.
Guilty by association.
Oh. Fair enough. If they go to your video and they flag you, that's not my problem. These are my viewpoints. Those are not his, okay? If you want to be mad about my viewpoints on Marvel, you come to me. You leave Rabbit alone. You leave Megazord alone. Don't worry about them. Don't focus on them. When it comes to that stuff, focus on me, because the hate should be directed towards me. And what I will do is I will take all that hatred and make a lovely stew out of it and eat it. All those hate ingredients.
I must take off.
Okay. Goodbye, Megazord. Goodbye, everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Please get off my back.
Dude, don't worry. I was only asking where you were because you went off the map for a little bit.
I'm off grid. Leave me alone. Leave me be. I say to ye. Okay, I think that would be good enough. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's Ron, how's your voice? Why don't you say something, see if it comes through on his recording?
This is a test. This is a normal speaking voice. This is audible. Yes? Is that good?
Today he will be reading for you 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, I might actually keep this for blooper reel later.
Slowly slid out of the Gundam suit.
Perfect! IGN, 10 out of 10. Would read again. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna use that later.